Hi, my name is Saskia and welcome to my channel. So today I decided to kind of kickstart a revamp to my channel. I know it's really soon to do a revamp, it's not even been like a year of this channel, but I think it's really important because I haven't really been focusing on any particular area or anything like that, and I really wanted to focus my channel. So I've decided to focus on student life and being a student and advising students on how to live, basically. Well, not how to live, because, you know, I'm not be all and all, but, you know, imparting what I've learned from being a student and also, like, just advising on my experiences. Doesn't mean you have to follow it, because, you know, you might not agree, but yeah. But I've kind of realised I can't really do that without you guys knowing more about me and my life. So today is a bit of a nervous one for me because I decided to do a tinnitus Q&A. And tinnitus is the reason this channel is even here, to be honest. I have tinnitus. I've had it for 6/7 years. And that's kind of the reason I decided to start this channel, because I went through a really difficult patch this year. So today I decided to do this Q&A. I asked a group of family and friends to send me questions they have about tinnitus, things they're curious about but never really knew the answer to, or was a bit nervous to ask me about, you know. But before I go into that, I'm just going to give you a bit of background on tinnitus. So what is it? Tinnitus is basically ringing, buzzing, hissing, crackling, popping, any kind of noise that's persistent in the ear that only the person can hear. So what causes it? So doctors believe that it is small hair in your ear that is damaged, and this hair sends signals to your brain that there is sound going on. But because it is damaged, it's continuously sending signals to your brain, and your brain, in order to make sense of those signals, actually creates sound. So why does this damage occur? So it can come from a range of things, from an infection in your ear, to an illness, to exposure to loud sound, such as music and concerts. That's why actually a lot of soldiers have tinnitus, because they're exposed to a lot of loud machinery. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons as to why tinnitus comes about. And yeah, about 10% of people live with tinnitus persistently. I'm part of that 10%, which is a lot if you think about the world being made out of 7 billion people. But about 30% of the world will actually experience tinnitus at some point as well, which is quite a lot. So that's why I thought doing this kind of video would be really important, but also interesting for people to know about. So yeah, now that's kind of all the background information on tinnitus. Let's go on with the Q&A. My questions, I've written them all out in very multiple different colours and placed them inside this mug. It's a beautiful mug. Yeah, so all the questions are in here. I'll be picking them out. If you see me at any point doing like that, it's probably because I have answered the question at some point already in the video or in my ramblings. So yeah, let's get on with this. It's really evil. I don't know why. Okay. What treatments / therapies are available? Okay. So I just want everyone to know first off that there is no cure for tinnitus, which I know really sucks. But yeah, there are a lot of operations out there claiming to be able to stop tinnitus. I'm no doubt it probably stopped a couple of people's tinnitus. But I've had a lot of ENTs tell me, and I'm also hesitant to do these operations because there's also a lot of risks of going deaf from them. So I think at the moment, until there's like a one decisive way of stopping tinnitus and curing it, I would not risk going under the knife for it, because I think the risks far outweigh any benefits that you might get from it. So yeah, at the moment there's no actual cure, but that doesn't mean there's not treatments though. There are things like tinnitus therapists who you will go to and you'll have one-on-one sessions. They'll work out to what extent tinnitus affects your life and how bad your tinnitus is. And then you'll go from there and you'll discuss ways in which you can live your life without having to basically be subjected to your tinnitus. They'll teach you ways in how you can live and go through certain situations with your tinnitus. There are also general therapists if you're finding it particularly difficult, especially with your mental health, because a lot of times anxiety and depression come hand in hand with tinnitus. I myself have experienced these to a degree. So I would definitely say normal therapists really help with that, being able to help you come to terms with tinnitus and how to deal with it on an emotional level as well. There are also support groups around the UK. I'm going to put a link to the British Tinnitus Association in my description below, because you can actually search your postcode and then they'll tell you the closest support group to you, and you can then go from there, messaging them, finding out where they meet, and just having people around you that also suffer from the same thing can really be quite helpful. So yeah. How do you manage tinnitus day to day? So my tinnitus actually is different every day in how I deal with it. So I have good days and I have bad days. Yeah, if I'm on an okay day, I'll probably just live my life like anyone else would. I'll go out, do whatever, do what I want to do with my day, and it's fine. But if it's a bad day and I wake up and my ears are hissing, then to be honest, it just depends how bad they are. If I don't have to do anything that day and I just want to do a lazy day, I'll just chill at home. My housemates, maybe a couple of friends will come over. That's kind of, I'll just chill, you know. I won't do anything too taxing. I won't do anything too strenuous. That's the word. I'll tend to just stick to myself that day. But if I have to do stuff, I have to do uni, go onto campus, and I'll tend to pre-plan my day to avoid any overly loud sounds. You know, like I'll try and get onto campus in the least loud way or stuff like that. Just ways to avoid making my ears worse that day. What's the most challenging thing about tinnitus? So I would say the most challenging thing is probably the unpredictableness of it. Like I was saying just now, sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, but I can never predict what a day is going to be like, you know. I can go to bed one night feeling great and my ears are fine, and I'll wake up the next day and they're not so great. Or vice versa, I'll go to bed feeling awful and I'll wake up feeling fine. So I think not being able to know what my ears going to be like and how my day is going to be that next day is really, it's a bit frustrating after a while, to be honest, because you just want it to be fine and it's not always fine, you know. You've got to just take it as it comes, I guess, which is a bit frustrating, but you know, you learn to live with it. I feel like that guy, you know, and it's like, what was that? It was like the salt and pepper thing, and he was like, but I feel like I'm just being more savage with the throwing. What can people who know you, or maybe someone else with tinnitus, do to help? I think just being supportive and being patient can be the most helpful thing with people with tinnitus. I think people in general who have an illness or have mental health, I think when you haven't experienced something, it's very difficult to understand what a person could be going through. And I think just being patient and understanding, or trying to be understanding of what they're going through, is the most important thing with something like that, because them knowing that someone's there can be so helpful. Like a lot of times people tend to only talk about it and feel very cut off because only they experience it. But the knowledge that you're there for them when they need you and when they're ready to talk about it, that is honestly some of the most important thing I can think of. Like when I've been through really rough patches, knowing I've had great friends and family that are there that I can talk to about it, it's been the most amazing thing. I don't know what I would have done without that, to be honest. Ready? Salt and pepper guy. Ah. Now it's salt and pepper guy. Is there anything you want to say to others with tinnitus? Just that you're not alone, to be honest. Like, when my tinnitus first started, I felt so alone. because again, like, it's only I could hear it, only I knew what I was going through. And even though I had my friends and family around me, I didn't feel like that, you know. At times I felt very alone. But just knowing you're not alone, like I said earlier, like, there are a lot of support networks out there for tinnitus. I've linked it down below. Just getting in touch with those support networks, and also just getting in touch with your friends and family and just telling them how you feel. I think, yeah, just knowing you're not alone, and also just trying not to isolate yourself. I know at times with your tinnitus you just don't want people to know. You know, you don't think people understand it, and just you hide. I've hidden a lot from telling people about my tinnitus and how it affects me. To this day I still do that. But try not to isolate yourself from people, because essentially the more isolated you are, the worse you feel. Okay. When I decided to use Q&A and I was like reading the questions people sent me and I was writing them down, there was a couple that I was really nervous to answer, and I have now come across one such one. Does it stop you doing the things you love? Not gonna lie, my tinnitus has stopped me from doing some things that I love doing. As I've mentioned in my first ever video that I sing, and I love singing, and I trained for quite a while. I'm now a grade 8 singer. Hopefully at some point would like to do a diploma, but that obviously depends how my ears can deal with that. Yeah, I originally wanted to go onto the West End and perform there after I finished education. But because of tinnitus and how it is in the recent years, I can't really deal with performing with loud music. Like, it doesn't mean I don't sing, I do sing. A lot of my friends will say that I sing all the time, and I sing too much sometimes. But in terms of performing, yeah, I can't really do that. That was quite difficult to come to terms with. There was a time I was very angry and upset. I cried a lot about it. But yeah, that was probably one of the things that was the most aggravating with my tinnitus, was when I found out that I couldn't really do that anymore, you know? But then there are also positives to that in a sense. Like, yes, it made me realise that I can't sing how I wanted anymore, but it also opened my eyes to other things I haven't really thought about before. Like, I put a lot more time into my writing. I did creative writing A-level, so, you know, I have done it before, but like, I didn't really do a lot of it. I focused a lot more on my music. So I've been focusing a lot more on writing, and, you know, I've gone back to doing a lot of the things that I stopped kind of doing in favour of singing and music. So there are positives in the sense that I'm relearning hobbies that I really enjoy, redoing hobbies that I really enjoy, but like, I think with most things in life there are positives and negatives, and it's just whether you choose to look out for those positives or whether you choose to just let the negative kind of sink into you, in a sense, you know? Oh. Gosh, it's getting like harder and harder. Okay, other times that tinnitus can be worse than normal. There are times, yeah, there are times. If I haven't slept particularly well, or if I'm very stressed, my tinnitus I've noticed is a lot worse. And I think that's something doctors have said in general, that if you're sleep deprived or stressed, it just escalates your tinnitus. But then it gets into this awful cycle, because if you don't sleep, you're more stressed by your ears, and then because your ears are so bad, you struggle to sleep. And it's just this whole cycle that just gets worse and worse. And like, I've had times where I've been in the cycle and had to just like force myself out of it. Like, I haven't slept one night, so I'll pass out the next night, stuff like that. So yeah, that could be bad. Or like, the reason this year my ears have been so bad is that I've had a lot of, gross moment, but I've had a lot of like wax build up in my ears, and they block it and unblock it, and the more blocked my ears are, the worse my tinnitus is. So yeah, that can be a time my ears are a lot worse, to be honest, which isn't very fun. But I'm learning to deal with it. I'm getting used to it now. And that's all you can do, is just get used to it and manage it. Okay, last question in my pot. Yes, I just hit my chin. It's okay, no one saw that but you guys. What tinnitus feel like? So with tinnitus, it's like, physically it doesn't feel like anything, like it's an auditory thing, so you hear it, but like emotionally it's really isolating. You're the only one that hears it, so it's very isolating. Like how I imagine my tinnitus is, so imagine this is your ear canal, right? This side is your eardrum, this side is the outer ear. Imagine this, there's like a little bubble here in front of your eardrum. That to me is my tinnitus. So you have sound going over all the time, like going through your eardrum, but there is always this bubble between the eardrum and the outer world. And that's how I kind of emotionally feel tinnitus to be, you know? And so it's a very isolating thing because it's constantly there, but you're the only one that can hear it, you know? So it makes you feel very alone in that. Yeah, that's my biggest thing with it, in terms of how I feel with it, about it. So there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it really informative and interesting. If you have any questions about tinnitus that I haven't answered in this video, or that are just nagging and have been formed because of this video, please do put them in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear them and I'll try and answer as many as I can. If you enjoy the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like, so that I know what kind of content you find interesting. And also please subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell button so that you will get a notification when I next post my videos. But yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye now. Bye now. Bye now. If anyone got that was a genie from Aladdin, I'm very impressed.